Well, good evening. I know it's a little before 7:30, and even last week I know some people joined a little after 7:30, so um I just thought I'd get started right now, just maybe a little explanation on why I chose Brown Bear, What Do You See? That book's by Eric Carle. Um, do you know any of Eric Carle's other books? I'm sure the first graders will know some. One of his most famous is The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and um, that was this was one of the books that I learned to read in Japanese when I first came to Japan and was teaching English, but I always loved this book in English. Um, he also has The Very Busy Spider. Um, and there is Have You Seen My Cat? The Grouchy Ladybug. And a book I got a few years ago that he did the illustrations for is called Animals, Animals. And there are a lot of different poems in the book with pictures that go with the poems. And so many of these poems are by very famous um, poets, and a variety of people have written the poems. So those are some of his books that he's illustrated. And I know the first graders often do some of his make animals in the style that he does using um, collage type works. But I'm going to read Brown Bear, What Do You See? Now, I know this is a pretty simple book, but I want you to think about what's happening in the book as I read it. And I guess I should also say one of the reasons I'm reading this book is my one daughter in America has her daughter watching these videos too. And she said, my granddaughter, Una, would really like to hear Nana read Brown Bear, What Do You See? So I'm reading this for you, and I'll have a challenge at the end for you to do, but I'm also reading it for my granddaughter. So this is by Bill Martin Jr. and illustrated by Eric Carle. Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. Red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me. Yellow duck, what do you see? I see a blue horse looking at me. Blue horse, what do you see? I see a green frog looking at me. Green frog, what do you see? I see a purple cat looking at me. Purple cat, what do you see? I see a white dog looking at me. White dog, what do you see? I see a black sheep looking at me. Black sheep, what do you see? I see a goldfish looking at me. Goldfish, what do you see? I see a teacher looking at me. Teacher, teacher, what do you see? I see children looking at me. Children, children, what do you see? We see a brown bear, a brown bear, a red bird, a green frog. Oh, okay. We see a brown bear, a red bird, a yellow duck, a blue horse, a green frog, a purple cat, a white dog, a black sheep, a goldfish, and a teacher looking at us. That's what we see. So, what I would like to challenge you to do is we have spring break coming up, and maybe you're going on a trip, which is great, but maybe you're going to be staying around your house and thinking, what can I do during spring break? It's so boring. I'm not with my friends, I'm not at school every day. Could you write a book? You could choose an animal, you could choose an insect, or you could just even use yourself. And what do you see? And maybe not that you're seeing animals, but maybe you could see different shapes, or maybe you could see different numbers, or something else that really interests you. So if you could write and maybe illustrate a book, and then, sorry, I keep seeing the reflection. And then after spring break, bring the book to school and share your book with me. We'll have a special, maybe, book sharing party after school one day. So if you want to do something special during your spring break, or even some evening or a weekend when you're at home, maybe you can write your own brown bear, or maybe you're going to write ladybug, ladybug, what do you see? Or maybe you want to write children, children, what do you see? But see if you can write a book and then bring it to Mrs. Hino's office and share it with me. So maybe you want to read one of Eric Carle's other books. I shared them in the beginning. They're The Hungry Caterpillar, The Grouchy Ladybug, Have You Seen My Cat, The Very Busy Spider, and Animals, Animals. And since this has been kind of a short story, I think what I'm going to do is read some of the animal poems this evening. So, the elephant. The elephant is quite a beast. He's rather large, to say the least. And though his size is most impressive, the elephant is not aggressive. He never throws his weight around. Still, he always holds his ground. He only wants to feel secure. Long may the elephant endure. That poem was by Arnold Sundgaard. So looking before, I saw one. About penguins, which are some of my favorite animals. Enigma sartoria. Consider the penguin. He's smart as can be, dressed in his dinner clothes permanently. You never can tell when you see him about if he's just coming in or just going out. That's by Lucy W. Rue. And then on the other side is The Yak by Jack Perlutsky, who is also one of my favorite poetry writers. Yickety yackety yickety yak. The yak has a scruffly scraffly back. Some yaks are brown, yaks, and some yaks are black. Yickety yackety yickety yak. Sniggly snaggly sniggly snag. The yak is all covered with shiggly shag. He walks with a ziggly zaggly zag. Sniggly snaggly sniggly sag. By Jack Perlusky. So I hope you have a good evening. Have a good night's sleep. And I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. And looking forward to seeing how many of you take the challenge to write your own brown bear, or maybe Mrs. Hino, what do you see? And illustrate a book. Have a good night.